Okay, it's about 4:20 in the morning. Do a little experiment, see how long this thing takes to fire up. My Qualcomm here. So I'm turning the key on now. I'm actually going to start the engine. Now it's a little hard to see, but on the top there it says loading applications. Okay, that's 2 minutes since I powered it up. $2.30. This is every single day that, I wake up, I start my truck up, and then I have to wait for this thing to just, I don't know what the hell it's doing, because the loading applications, this isn't an update, this is just a normal daily routine. Right, this is just starting up. Okay, now we're at 3+ minutes. Still says loading applications. Now here's what I predict. I predict that this is going to shut down in a couple of minutes and then totally restart itself and go back through this loading applications thing all over again. There's 4 minutes. Now normally what I do when this is going on is I'm doing a walk around of my truck, looking underneath it, checking the tires, checking the lights, or I use the time to go into the truck stop, go to the bathroom, get a cup of coffee, get a soda, whatever it is. But it's kind of frustrating um, you know, if you just like start up and you got to go somewhere. Now, truthfully, if I just started driving away, eventually it'll put, you know, it'll remember and it'll put me on the drive line. But I can't really, unless I go to my app on my phone, which is not always completely accurate. My engine shut down because now I'm at 5+ minutes. It's not always, you know, on the app, on the Prime app, it's not always completely accurate, your hours of service. It trails a little bit, so you wouldn't necessarily get real-time stuff. And the reason I'm pointing all this up is my friend Lyle did a video, and he talks about this technology. And he's totally on point that it's like ancient technology, and this is kind of frustrating, and it's something that happens, you know, daily, thousands of times to other drivers. We're now over 6 minutes doing nothing. I mean, this is, I don't know what applications it's loading, because it's not like we added a bunch of stuff to this. It's not like it's, you know, somebody might be like, oh, well, it's updating. Well, I don't know why, you know, it's not saying it's putting a different version on and asking me if I want to do it like a normal computer program would be doing. It's just that slow. And this is, you know, this is routine. This is not something that's anomalous. You saw what I did. I just started my truck up. I just want to start my day. So there's 7 minutes. And keep in mind, this thing's, it has power. Like my keys turned on, the engine just timed out and shut off. And I've wanted to do this for a while. I just didn't have the impetus and to do it. But Lyle's video got me thinking about it again, and he's identified this issue a couple of times. But I wanted to do this just to show, like he talked about it shutting down and rebooting and everything. But I wanted to do this just, hopefully somebody at Prime will see this and go, holy crap, that's a daily occurrence for pretty much all of our drivers. Like, everybody deals with this. Okay, so now at 8 minutes and about 10 seconds, it's now shutting down. So it took it 8 minutes and 10 seconds to decide that it didn't want to be on and wanted to shut down. We're now at 8 minutes and 30 seconds since I powered this up. Nine minutes. Takes even the shutting down process is painfully slow. And by the way, I don't even have the nav turned on this system. So really, the only thing that I sort of use is the messaging. and the the hours of service. But I don't really even use the messaging. I just like, so there's 10 minutes. I read most of my messages on my phone. And I don't use the voice module because I hate machines talking to me. Now I'm going to have to switch hands because I've been holding the phone and my one hand is starting to cramp up because now we're approaching the 11-minute mark. I feel like I should be playing the Jeopardy music, the Final Jeopardy music. So we're now approaching 12 minutes. Alright, enough of that. So 12 and a half minutes now. I already forget how long it's been shut. Oh, there we go. Now it took like 3 minutes to shut down. Now it's powering back on. And like I said, I predict it's now going to say that it's whatever it said at the top, loading, programs or whatever. Now we're over 13 minutes. Now it's initializing. This is just a straight through video. So now it's loading applications again. And I would be shocked if every Prime driver hasn't experienced this. So there's 14 minutes. 14 minutes. So I woke up, powered this up, and so, now obviously I could do something else while this is doing its thing, but kind of the magic number on pre-trips is 15 minutes, right? 15 minutes on duty time, you do your pre-trip, etc. So now I'm approaching 15 minutes and I still haven't been able to log in. Or I shouldn't say log in. I still haven't been able to update my status because I think I'm in, actually I'm off duty because I was out of my truck most of the weekend. So, or actually for the last several days I've been out of my truck. So we're at 15 plus minutes that this thing has been trying to like turn itself on. And I know this is boring, but it's just here, I'm just trying to make a point about how ancient and, you know, like frustrating this technology is. Like, this is a multi-billion-dollar trucking company. And the other thing too is that there are web-based systems that people could just upload apps on their, or download apps, I guess you'd say, on their phones to handle their hours of service. All you have to do is tie the phone to the truck, and I, you know, when I was at GP Transco, we had tablets and we used Samsara, but my tablet sometimes wouldn't charge because, you know, okay, so right there is 16, that's right around 16 and a half minutes before I get this warning screen. Now, if I tap OK, now I can change my status. So, anyway, that's like 16 and a half minutes to 16 and a half minutes to get to a screen where I can actually do something. And really, like the driver login, that didn't change. I don't know if you can see what it says, driver login. Here's hours of service, here's messaging, and here's critical event reporting. All these other systems like navigation's over here, I don't use those, right? Like they're not activated. So what's it doing for 16 and a half minutes? Like nothing's changed. There's no, you know, it's just a clock right now. So anyway, I thought I'd share that with you. I mean, if you've used this system, you know how painful it can be. But I hope somebody at Prime that doesn't use this on a daily basis. And by the way, this is just what's, you know, happened once. If I shut this truck down, there's always a chance it's going to take this long to reboot. It doesn't always, but there's a chance that it will. And sometimes this thing just will like shut off on its own, you know, like when you're in the middle of something, and you want to you're trying to do something and it shuts down. And it's also painfully slow when you're just trying to change it. Like when you're at a gate and you want to go into yard move, when you've showed up at a shipper or receiver, it's like anybody who's used it knows the feeling of there's people waiting behind you, but you really want to put yourself in the correct status so you're not like tearing up your drive clock. Man, it's just a hassle. So anyway, sorry if I triggered anybody with this display, but I think it's important to show just this is just one example. 16 and a half minutes just to boot up. Like that's like, I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's just that old. And this company makes money off of Prime and every other trucking company that still uses it. You know, we could go to app-based hours of service. Those ELD systems are approved by the FMCSA. I don't know why we don't do it. Anyway, thanks for watching if you got this far. Talk to you soon. Bye.